Welcome everyone. Today, in this Excel day 2, we are going to learn about Introduction to Excel, where we will be learning about the key elements of Excel like workbook, worksheet, cells, formula bars, ribbons, and name of the boxes. And then we are going to apply some of the formulas, which are the basics related to the Excel. And for that, let me introduce you all that this is the work mainframe of the Excel, which is also known as the workbook. In workbook, you can see this is a worksheet, and a single workbook can contain multiple worksheets that could be sheet 1, sheet 2, or we can also rename them. And to rename this worksheet, we have to just click on sheet, a double tap on sheet 2, and from here we can rename, or else we can right click and then we can rename a worksheet as of now. So if I go to sheet 1 and then I double click, now I'm writing here as day 2. So now we have a sheet worksheet named as day 2. Then second thing comes that what is a worksheet? A worksheet is a grid of rows and columns where we can see that all the columns are named as A, B, C, D, E, F laid further on. And in the rows, all the rows are named as 1, 2, 4, 8, 10, 20, 30, 40, as much as we want in a worksheet. So here comes the cell. What is a cell? Cell is a reference of column and a row. So where you can see that an individual box which contains a row and a column. So if I go on G and I select the G7, then we have a row named as G7. Or else if I go to this, then it has a B5, means we are in the B row, B column, fifth row. If I go here, then it is H row, H column, sixth row. So this is how the cells are. Now comes the formula bar. The formula bar displays the content or the formula that we are going to select into the cell. So this is known as a formula bar where we all are going to write the formulas, or we can simply also write the formula here also by using is equal to, and let's say I write is equal to A2 plus A2 plus A4. So what does it mean that I am summing A2 and the A4 cell. So this is how we are going to write the formula. Instead of writing in cell, we can also write it into the formula bar. Third thing comes this the ribbon. What is a ribbon? A ribbon is a tool or a toolbar at the top with tabs like home, insert, formulas, and data. Here you can see we have the files. In files, we can open new file, save files, save, print, share, or export or publish our worksheet or our workbook. Whereas in insert, you can see that we have pivot tables, illustrations means any of the picture shape that we want to add into our workbook. Whereas we can add some of the things from the web server itself. Then comes the charts that which we will be using further on in our projects like line chart, pie chart, whatever chart we want. And then comes the tools, lines and columns, spark lines, and the slicers. Slicers are the main filters that we will be using when we are doing a report generation later on. And then comes links. So these all are known as the ribbons. Whereas we also have the page layout format where we can change the orientation, size, margin, breakouts, anything that we want. And these are the some of the formulas which we are going to use. If you don't put any formula manually by writing it simply into a cell or a formula bar, we could just take it from any of these formula books. Here we have the AutoSum book, financial book, logical book, whatever kind of formula we need, we can just take it from here. Third, and the most important comes the data. Data is also connected as the main frame of this workbook where we'll be working, where we can get the data from the file. Whereas if I had a Excel file, then I can just go to the data bar from file, and from here I can bring the data inside the inside our desktop, whatever we have. Or else we can use the CS file, XML file, JSON file, or whatever folders we need. And these are all the other types of databases from where we can select the file, where we can take the data from SQL data server, from analysis service, or from Oracle, IBM, or AWS, wherever we want, we can take the data from Azure itself also. So this is how we are going to take the data. And from there, we have some of these uh, formulas or the ribbons that we are going to use in the data field. Now comes the main thing, that is the filter. when we have any data, the filter is used to filter out the things that we don't need into the data. When we'll be working on a project, we will be looking into each and every one of these toolbars and ribbons while performing those tasks. So the now basic things comes is that what we are going to do is some basic formulas. Now, this is all about the Excel, and from here we will be doing some of our basic formulas. And for that, I'll be taking a dummy data. So let's say that the dummy data is this. Is it visible to all? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here you can see that we have a column A, column B, and column C. And every column has 3 rows, which has A2, A3, and A4. Is it okay? Yes. So now what we are going to use, we using some of the formulas. Let's say first formula for us would be sum. Okay. Next formula we are going to use is average. And next formula we are going to use is min formula and the max formula. Okay. So now when we come to the sum, so what is a sum? Sum is just a summation of the columns or rows that we need as a sum. So let's say that I want to sum all these 3 rows. So what will I do? In sum formula, I'll be writing equal to, then I'll be writing sum. So here we get the formula of sum related to, and now I'll be tan. Once I have, now I have to enter the number 1. So what is our cell reference of a number second cell? Can anyone tell me?
A2.
Okay, let's say A2. And what is the last cell reference where I have to take it?
A4.
A4.
A4. Okay.
A4.
So once I have it, I'll simply just enter, and here I get the sum. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So here, if I want to this formula and I want to take it in the other rows also, then what would I do? I'll just simply drag the formula. Here I will get the answer. Is it okay? What I did? You get to my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let
Yes,
me
sir.
explain it again. Once we are done with one of the column, then what we can do, just simply on the right bottom corner of the cell, we have a point square. And when we place our cursor on it, we can just simply drag it. And once I drag it, what will it do? It will also replace that formula into the parent columns of our table. Is it okay? Okay. Now let's go to the average. What is average? So for the average, can tell me, anyone tell me what is the definition of average?
We can say that it's the midpoint of a data set, like not the basically the midpoint, but average, like the sum and then
Sum
the
of observation and divided by total number of observation.
Okay, so we have it. I hope you all have done these all average sum in your previous classes, whereas in when you were in 10th, 11th, 12th, and I hope you all remember all those definitions. So we are not
Sir,
there.
hello, sir. Your voice is continuously breaking. Can you shut down your camera so that the internet will work properly?
Yeah, sure.
Please turn off the camera so that voice will be clear.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I hope you all have gone through all those definitions when you were in your schooling time. So I will not get into it. Right now we'll be looking into the formulas that we are going to use. So the another formula we are going to use is average. And for average, if I want to take an average of the first 3 columns, first 3 rows of a column A, then what we are going to do? Just simply write the formula average. And once we have the average, we'll press the tab button. And after pressing the tab button, what I have to give the cell references. So what is the cell number 1 which I want to reference?
A2.
A2. Okay. And other cell reference till the end?
A4.
A4.
A4. Okay. Then what I have to do? Press enter. Once I press enter, I get the average of the column. So the average of this column is 26.66. So what I have to do, if I have to simply, I'm getting a lot more digits and the end where into the decimals. So what I can do, just go to the home. Here you can see we have to generate. And now here what I have to do, the decrease decimals. So what will it do? just simply decrease the decimals or to whatever the reference we need. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if I want to take the cell references for the next to average of next two columns, what I have to do?
Drag it
Okay.
to the right side.
So we will here drag this formula to the next two rows columns also. And now we can clearly see that we get the average of the next two rows also. Same we can do with the min. Then what is a min function? Can anyone tell me?
It's the midpoint of the data set,
No.
but the data set need to be arranged in ascending or descending order.
No. It doesn't mean the ascending or descending or the midpoint of the cell. The min and the max means that min function means that what is the minimum value that you are going to look into any of the row or any of the column. Whereas the max also tells you that you are going to look to the maximum value or the inside the row or inside a column. So do you get my point?
Actually, you told what is the mean. Here you have written minimum and maximum, and that's why I got confused.
Okay, it's
Okay, no issue. Okay,
no problem.
okay, no issue, sir.
Okay, now in this cell reference, what we are going to do equal to, and equal to, I'll be putting the min function min, and I'll be pressing tab. Now, instead of writing the cell references, what we can do, simply drag the cells. And for that, what we are going to do, just simply go with your cursor onto the cell that you want, and from there, just drag it. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
So once you are done with it, now let me show it again. So it would be clear to every one of you. Now what you have to do, just only simply drag this and the cell references would be there into your formula and then just hit enter. And once you hit enter, you get the minimum value of that row. And what is the minimum value of our column? And that is 10. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we can drag it. And from here, we can clearly see that the B column has the minimum value of 20 and the C column has a minimum value of 5. Now comes the max function. What we get? Max function.
Next.
Okay. So what is the max function? Can anyone tell me?
Find the
Maximum value.
maximum value.
Okay. So what are the max will be do? Max will be telling us what is the maximum value of our function, of our column or our row. And for that, I will be using the max function. And for that, max. From here, I can get the max. And from now, I will going to simply drag the column that I want. Now and then hit enter. Once I hit enter, I get the max value of our column, and that is 40. And now here, simply I can drag the formula. And from here, you can clearly see that the maximum value of row A is 40, sorry, column A. And for column B, it is 35. And column C is 45. So do you get these points?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone have any issue or any problem till here? Any doubts?
None so far.
Yes?
No from my side.
No. So if you have any doubts or anything that you can ask me right now before we continue to the next thing. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So we are in the next sheet, we will be working on the another formulas. And for that, I'll be using one more dummy data. And so let's go to the sheet 2. In sheet 2, we'll be giving the dummy data as. So here you can see that we have the dummy data. And into the column G, what you can see is we are getting some of the errors. And these errors because we have the general data. And what we have the date itself. And to convert the whole into the date, what we are going to do, just simply go to the data table, home, and in home where you can see general, instead of general, just click on the short date and here you have the date. Is it clear to all? Or I do it again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you will get the clear picture. So you can see I take one of the dummy data to perform the another operations, and for that operations what I used is the formula. And for formulas, you can look here that we have the data, but in data, we see that there are some of the errors, which errors have been shown in one of my column, and the column is my date section. When I click on this, the top of this column, then I'm selecting the whole column. And here we can see that what we have is a general. But now we know that every column has a format, a string. So whereas if I want to go to the name, then you can see that there is a name which could be a text or a general. It's okay. And if I go to the age, then age is a general, and we can say that it is a number. So we can click number, then we have the number. That doesn't make any issue to us. Okay. But what makes an issue is that we have an error in our date. So what we have to do is simply select the date table, and from here just go into the general and use the date whatever you want. So what we want is the short date, because rest of the dates are in the short format. So we'll be using a short date form. Once I click on the short date format, you can see that yes, there are the dates that we are looking for. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now once we have the data, let me drag it so that you can clearly see all those things. Okay, Ankit, B3, okay. So now once we have the data, what we are looking into is some of the formulas. And these are also the basic formulas that we are looking into. Let me zoom in so that you can get more clear picture. Once more. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
what you all can see in our dummy data, we have the ID of the respected persons. Then we have the name, age, gender, department, salary, join date, their experiences, and their rating, and what is their status. Is it active, on, resign, or whatever we have. Okay. So later on we will fix it. Now it's showing our error. Okay, no issues.
Just use and that find and replace function and change the divide with the hyphen.
Yeah, I will do it later
Right,
on,
apply.
because the problem is we have the short time of recording. So in that time, I have to go with all the basic formulas. When we are doing the date functions, then I'll be doing everything for you. Okay.
Okay, no issue. Okay.
Now, if I want to see the total of the sum of the salaries, then what function we are going to use? If I want to see the sum of the salary, can anyone tell me? What will the sum of the salary?
Sum F1 to sum F16. Sir.
Okay, we are going to use sum function, and what we are going to take the function from?
Sum F2, sir. Sum F2 to sum F16, sir.
F2 to F16. Okay. F. So here we have the sum of all the salaries that we have. Next, if I want to check the average age, that what is the average age in our data set, then how we are going to do it? Let me write here. Average. What will be the average of the age if I'm looking to?
Average A2 to A16, I guess.
No?
C2 to
C20,
C16.
C2 to C16.
Okay, so it would be average, and from where we are going to take it, C2 to C16.
60.
So now we have an average, that the average number, average year of males and females working in our company are from the age of 28. So this is how we can take the average. And from here, if I want to see the minimum rating, what we have, then if I want to check the minimum rating, then what function I'm going to use?
Minimum.
Minimum rating. What function?
Minimum.
Okay, min function. So for that, what we are writing, can anyone tell me?
Is equal to min.
Is equal to
NIM
in,
H16.
and I will be taking the cell
I2
I2 to
I16.
I16. So here we have the minimum rating, and from here, if I want to check what is the maximum experience that we are having in our data set, max experience. Can anyone tell me? What
Max
is the
function.
experience? If I want to go with the experience column, and I'm looking for what is the
H2.
maximum experience, then what would be?
Max is equal to max H2 to H16, sir.
Max, and it would be from H2 to
H2 to H16.
okay. Now we have that the maximum experience in a data set is 9 and a minimum rating, sorry. And the minimum rating we have is 3.6. And what is the average age? And the average age we have is 28.8. So I hope these all formulas are clear for you right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's go to the count function. What we are looking for? Count function. Have you all know about the count function before?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you all are familiar, right? So now
Yeah.
the formula comes in my mind is the question is that I want to look for the number of males in my company. Number of males in my company. What will it be? And for that,
Count of
I'm
ID.
using a count
Is
function.
equal to count.
Is
Is equal to count ID, sir. Count
A2
A2 to A16.
So tell me one thing that we are going to use count function, count a function, count if function, or count if function.
Count function.
Count
Actually,
function,
here we are not.
Count
Actually, we are not using any condition, and that's why we are taking just count. In case we
Count.
need to use any
Yeah.
condition
Can
on
you
that
give me can you give me the definition of what is the count function? So let me clear you one thing that a count function is only to count the how many numbers are there in our columns or in our rows. If I use a count function in one of the columns, then it will give me the specific number. Yes, that I have 16 elements in my row H or in my row E or in my row D or whatever I want. Okay, but if I use count A, then count A function only gives the number of those elements which have some values in their respected cell. Do you get my point? Count, let me do it again. The definition of count is going to count all the elements that are present in your respected referenced cell or a column. But for the count A, the definition is count A is going to count only those elements which have cell references and they are not blank. Whereas the count if function will count those values where we are going to give any of the condition. Okay. So let me ask that if I'm going to get the number of males in my company, then do I am going to count all the numbers or I'm going to use the if condition for the number of males?
Count if
Sir,
condition.
if condition.
If condition. Thank you so much. So where we are going to do is count if and in count if, and what we are going to type is the whenever we are writing a formula, we
T2,
get the
T16.
values that we want. It's showing the count if has a range. Okay, so what we are going to do, wait, I have to take a call. Hello. Mute what? Okay, let me do it once another. So in the count if function, we are going to take the range, and our range would be from D2 to D16. So do you get the range? Okay. Now in range, what is the criteria? In criteria, I'm looking for only the males. So what I'm writing is only
M.
once I write the M and hit enter, I'll get those 8 values. And these all 8 are the number of male employees working in my company. And this is how we can check for the number of females. If I want to check number of females, then what I'm going to write is equal to count and if function, and from here I will going to give the range, and range is from D2 to D16, and I'm going to check for female. Is it okay? And here I have that in my cell, in my table, in my data set, I have number of males working in my companies are 8 and number of females are working is 7. And if I check the entire table, then I have only 15 persons working in my company. And from here, I can clearly see in 15, I have 7 females and 8 males. So that's all for today. We'll be working on different formulas in the next session. Thank you so much. Anyone have any doubt till now?
Sir, please show the example of count A as well and count ifs.
Countess, actually, I just want to say we will do it tomorrow because the remaining time we have is 6:27, so we can't wrap up with it. So I
Okay, no issue.
can do it in the next session. But till now,
Okay, no issue.
whatever formulas we have used, do you have any of the questions related to any of these questions?
No, sir.
No.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so